Hello, 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 hello. You beautiful person. Hello, and welcome to one of my videos. Hi, my name is Ludi, and I'm here with a small little story time about my time and my journey, on the German version of American Idol. DS. If you want to know what happened at my audition, you're gonna have to go and watch the first video of this Storytime segment. We came back to continue the story. Oh, that was a good one too, actually. I like that. So, where did we stop? Where were we? Here's what you missed on Glee. So, we've established that I managed to get through the audition process. That I was actually, I successfully auditioned. And what happens next is the recall process. I do not know what it's called in America. Fight me. Educate me, please. So, in Germany it's called the recall process. I assume it's the same in America, but I don't know, so I should have looked this up, but I didn't look it up. Look it up. That was a little close. And, yeah. So, the next step in our season, every season is different as well. The next step in my season was called the Quick Picks. The Quick Picks. The Quick Picks. The Quick Picks. We were over 100 people. I think we were even 110, maybe. I'm not too sure about that. And what we did was we were all mixed and sorted into groups. Randomly, I guess. I have no idea. And we were 10 or 11 groups of approximately. Shut up. Sorry, shut up. I love living in the city. So approximately 10 to 12 contestants in one group. And the funny thing is, we were divided into the groups, and some of us were invited to come there in the morning or earlier, and I was invited to come, or my scheduled time slot of arrival, however you want to put it, was, I think, midday-ish, so around about 12, maybe 1, maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later, I have no idea. was in group number 10 from 11. I think I was, was I the last group? I don't know. No, we were the last group. I corrected myself. We were the last group. There was 100 of us. And we were told that only 40 people were going to go through to the next round. And us arriving later, we were confronted by a lot of other contestants, very cocky, very confident. No shade, just tea. Very cocky, very confident. They were like, our group. Everyone was accepted. Everyone came through to the next round. Everyone made it through. And I was like, okay, good for you. Props to you, mama. And, the later it got, the more people came back out of the quick picks, out of these lineups, whatever you want to call them. And we're like, I didn't make it. And the next came through and we're like, I did it. Again, congrats. But, of course, some paranoid people were like, oh my god, that's like 37. So, or 30. So there's only 10 more. And there's still like 4 groups. So fuck, we're in the last group. We're not going to make it. And I was like, if they want me, they are going to make room for me. I don't care. Why should I get stressed about something? I think the people that come the last should be granted the same possibilities as the people that came first. And of course, if you've got a limit, and the limit seems to be, full, then of course one thinks, how good of a chance do I have? But I must say that I never, I was so nervous whilst my audition that I thought, you know what, I did that. That was the only thing I wanted to prove to myself. I wanted to manage. I didn't even want to, of course I wanted to, survive and make it through to the next round, but I just wanted to prove to myself that I was capable of going there, standing in front of the judges, and doing what I do. And then I did that successfully. Props to me, mama. So, then we stood there. I don't know, I think 37 by then. We're like, 37 went through to the next round. So there were like potentially 3, maybe 2 people in our group that would go on to the next round. And I was like, yeah, we've got a lot of good voices in my group. I do not know. And then all of us sang. And I do not know what happened, but some people went through. Again, no shade. Or maybe shade actually. Well, one of us. I personally didn't think that she was going to go on to the next round, which does not make me the judge. She made it. She did it. Again, props, credits and congratulations. But I was a little surprised as her name was called out to be moving on. I was like, ooh, but if she's moving on, I think every one of us should be moving on. And obviously there were not enough available tickets to carry on. So, yeah, it was a bit stressful. I sang Gray's little thing called Love by Queen. And I think I did a good job. Actually, I really think I did a good job on that one. I had a lot of fun. I was like, this thing called IMS. And spoilers, I think 6 out of 10 in our group, was it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think 6 of us made it through to the next round. So we even managed to, overbook the flight, the bus. days, so we had to bring all of our suitcases, all of our luggage for the recall, which in Germany is always split in two parts. It's the German recall part and then the usually somewhere very hot, very humid. I hate your hair and makeup today. No, I hate humidity. I hate humidity. I just don't do humidity. I'm from England. I do not do humidity. Humidity. But we had to bring all of our luggage for quarantine for the recall in Germany, which was freezing. Sorry, that was my voice cracking. And we had to bring stuff for a potential very hot scenario. So we were in quarantine for X numbers of days, plus Germany for X numbers of days, plus potentially a very hot location for X numbers of days with one fucking suitcase. I thought that was very homophobic. Sorry. That was awful. It was awful. I had to... I don't want to be complaining about having to do laundry, but I thought I was, going to be there, and then it would be like, I've got enough underwear and socks and stuff to, until I come back, might have to wear one twice, whatever. But I almost went through all of my underwear after quarantine, so I had to wash so often, I had to do my laundry so often. Yeah, which was quite funny. I hated it because that was not what I was expecting. But the quarantine time was quite cool because we got to know each other a little more quite quickly, because we weren't supposed to be close to each other, of course, for quarantining and minimizing the possibility of the virus spreading in the cast. And yeah, but of course a lot of us were smokers, and of course we stood outside and, smoke a cigarette together, distanced, but together. And so friendships started to evolve, and, you had a lot of time waiting, as I said before, and in that time where you just sat there waiting, you got to, got to know him, got to know her, got to know them, and you start to, start to socialize, and I really love that. Ew. That was not me. I did not choose to do that. My body, my choice. Sorry. And then the Germany part of the recall started, and we sat on a fucking bus and went. We didn't go. We drove down south, and Germany's not that big. Germany's quite big, but not that big. But we drove for hours and hours and hours and hours. At least that's what it felt like. Apparently we only drove for 2.5. I don't think that's true. Maybe we were on the bus for 3.5, actually. I mean, it's a bus that doesn't go as quickly as a car, does it? But still, it felt like days. But just before, I think almost half an hour before we got there, we did a big, break. Everyone go to the toilet, and apparently the location was not ready for us to arrive yet, so we had to kill some time. And as we got there, we waited, and everyone was like, so what do you think? What's going to happen? Where do you think we're going to go? And I was like, people were really starting to piss me off because they just kept on asking, so what do you think? What do you think? Hyping each other up, and I was like, yeah, I'm excited too, but shut up. Shut up. Love you guys. But I was just so annoyed. I knew the whole journey was about to start, the recall process. process, and we were on our way there, but I didn't want to waste any time in thinking of what it could be, what it should be, and of course for the cameras it was a bit of a drama situation, and oh my god, what could happen, and I don't know, and a lot of energy, but I was saving the energy for the trip and the journey that was about to start, and I was not gonna go full on. My social battery goes empty very, very quickly, and I just didn't want to risk having no resources whatsoever 5 minutes after we've arrived and when the thing just started. So that's why I kept a lot to myself when I was in the quarantine time and on the bus to the location. But as we got there, it was a convent. A convent with nuns. I'm homosexual. That was a choice. The food was good. The food was excellent, actually. Really, really good food. But yeah, I was in a convent, and that was so weird because we were sleeping there as well. And of course, in the whole group of a lot of people, there were a lot of individuals. Let's just say it like that you really liked, and then there were maybe some or a handful that you hadn't connected with as much, and then there were some, maybe even a handful, that you really didn't like the vibe from. I didn't like their vibe. And I think that feeling was mutual. I think they did not like me either. And as we were divided and separated into groups for the rooms where we were going to sleep in. Oh no, actually, no, stop. We were divided into groups beforehand. We were divided into groups when it came to which song we're going to perform with whom, and it was quite a quick and painless procedure. It was, go into that room, stand there, and wait for the vocal coach, or wait for the next thing to happen. Surprise. And the vocal coach came in, who was the finalist of the first season of Germany's Idol, so DSDS, Juliet Chopman. She came in, Juliet, and everyone was like going crazy because icon, absolute icon, love her. Her energy is so queer. She was just the queer mum that I didn't know I needed. I knew I needed it, but I didn't know she was going to be the one. And a lot of queer energy, and it was just very inviting, very wonderful. I felt understood, seen, and comfortable, and I think that was something that really, cemented I don't want to say my comfort, but it cemented some stability, which I thought was really important for me to have at that point. And then we were, divided into the groups. And one of the guys that I did not really vibe with before was in my group. And as we, established, I sang a Sam Smith song in my audition, and the biggest criticism that I got was, you have a very similar tone and timbre and sound like Sam. So we want to, find your sound and want to find out who you are as a voice, as an artist. So I kind of felt completely screwed. As I got a Sam Smith song that I did not choose for myself. You told me I'm supposed to find my own sound, and then you give me a Sam Smith song. love the song. But I was so confused because I was not supposed to do Sam Smith, and then I got a Sam Smith number, which was a bit of a kerfuffle, a bit of a mind game, I don't know. But the group I was with was not the group I was expecting. Not at all. I actually hoped that I was going to be with the girls, but I wasn't, because I never am. Well, actually, I have to take that back. There was a time, back in the days, I'm going to come to that. Oh, this is going to be a long series, baby. Yeah. You have no, this is going to be a whole playlist where I'm going to talk about this, and I might as well actually record the whole thing today. Yeah, did I say working until late hours? Oh yes, mama, I did. Anyways, moving swiftly along. I was in the group with a guy that I had not connected with, and a guy that I thought the vibe was very off with, which was a very interesting dynamic because the guy that I thought the vibe was off with only sang in German. He did not sing English, he does not speak English. Well, he does, but not, fluently. And he was very insecure about speaking and singing in English. So that was a thing, especially being in a group with two queer men, or queer male AMAB people. That makes a lot more sense. And yeah, he was a bit more conservative, so that was a bit of a, clash of cultures, as one would say. But funny enough, the time that we spent together, I really got to know him, and it was a really soft, loving, and very charming person, which I now spoiler alert, because as we were separated into rooms, as we were assigned rooms for sleeping, I was assigned to a room with the same guy, the same conservative guy, and his best friend in the competition, who also was a very conservative guy. Me. I was devastated. I just wanted to have a good night's sleep. Wanted to be in a room with my girls. All the girls, the girls. But I wasn't. So I was like, oh, I don't want to be, in the way or discomforting anyone else. And of course, that's the thing that I generally feel as a queer person, or often have felt in my history, to, reduce myself and to adapt. But in that situation, I had no other choice, because that was what my social surrounding and my room was, and I'm not going to be the one who starts a lot of drama in front of the camera. That's not what I do. I keep a level head, a cool head. Thank you very much, Mr. Siren, Mrs. Siren, them Siren. So, as I said, we had a great time in that room. I mean, I had to wake up earlier than they did because I had to get my makeup done before the show. And they obviously didn't have to do that. Oh, I love the way I said obviously. Not the gender stereotypes, but they didn't. Oh, yeah. But I had to wake up, and then I did my makeup, and as they woke up, I was almost done, and they were like, how did you do that? And when did you wake up? And I was like, yeah, funny story. So yeah, that was quite funny. And then the dancing with a stranger. I think that was one of the biggest car crashes in history, of my history, on stage happening. Metaphorically car crashes, of course, sorry. Metaphorical. I love the way I'm challenging my English so much that I keep on questioning what I'm saying. That performance, I think we were one of the first groups. We weren't that late on, so I love that I generally, I think in one or two cases, I had to wait, but knew the song by heart before, but I was so nervous that I messed up exactly a Sam Smith song that I should know by heart. That I was so nervous, I was so happy as I finished my part, and I knew I only had another chorus. Done and dusted, bitch. Done and dusted. But then, I don't know if it was number 2 or number 3, messed up so bad that the main judge said, okay, actually, can we stop and restart? That was shit. And I was like, fuck. I just managed to get the lyrics straight or correct for that part that I was so worried about, and you're telling me that we have to redo it. Fuck off. So yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. And we did it again. And I managed to do okay again. But then a lot of weird lyrics were sung. And I'm going to also link that performance in the description. Because it's so bad. It's not bad, but it's so unironically bad that it's good. So check it out. It was so funny. And I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to continue in the next video. Thank you so very much for listening to my story time. I'm really enjoying myself here, and I really love just talking. I love talking, and I love whispering now. Whispering. And to tell my stories in ASMR, because that's how we do it. And if you like the video, don't mind to like, to comment. Maybe you've got ideas. Maybe you have constructive criticism. Maybe you want to say something nice about my audition tapes or my other performances. Maybe you are allowed. See you then. Bye bye.